Heads up, I had a minor audio issue that's affecting about 7 videos, and this is one of them. Back to normal soon.
Welcome to rSlash Am I the Butthole, where OP calls an ambulance on a faker. Am I the butthole for calling the ambulance for my coworker even though I know she was kind of faking it? I'm a 28-year-old man, and I'm currently working in an English language center in a Southeast Asian country. There's a female coworker here in her 20s who often touches her head and wobbles like she was about to faint. And she would lie down on the couch, letting people fan her, bring water and food to her. We take midday naps here, so whenever she does this, everyone's lunch and nap time is ruined, especially the ones who keep caring for her. This would happen at least twice a month, so over the last 5 or 6 months, I've seen a few incidents when we worked the same shift. One time, she even asked me to order ice cream for her. For clarity, it's a big, crowded city, so you can just walk to any ice cream shop nearby to grab one for $1. She didn't pay me back, but that's beside the point. This Monday, she did it again, and this time she asked a girl to order her an iced drink and a sandwich. A group of coworkers fanned her, did the whole caring thing like she's a sick child. I stood up from my chair, walked towards her, asked if she was okay, and I went to the men's washroom, dialed for an ambulance, and went back to my seat. After 20 minutes, we heard the siren, my phone rang again, and I stood up and told her servants to help her to the ambulance. Her face changed. You know that face when someone knows they screwed up? Other girls asked if I really called, and I said, yeah, it seems more severe this time. It's best for her to go. The ambulance is here already. You'll have to pay for it regardless. An ambulance fee is about 1 to 2 days worth of her salary, about $50. Other coworkers actually agreed and helped her get on the ambulance. Now that I think about it, no one called an ambulance for her once. Ever since the incident, she stopped interacting with me beyond highs and hellos. It's Thursday now and she hasn't said a word to me. Am I the butthole for this? Oh, I don't think so, OP. For all we know, you could have saved her life. You know, it's even better than that, I suspect. I would wager that the hospital magically fixed whatever fainting problem she had, and she's probably not going to have any fainting spells again. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes here. I'm giving this obvious liar 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for kicking my girlfriend's sister and her kids out of my apartment after my girlfriend gave her the keys? My long-term girlfriend has my apartment keys, as I have hers. The only unspoken until now, but always respected rule was, if you need to go to the other's place, just send a text. Hey, going to your place. Doesn't matter if the other person is at home or even responds. Just simply tell the other person you'll be at their place. I was supposed to be away 700 kilometers from home for 2 weeks for work-related stuff, but 2 days in, our instructor got into an accident. Work tried to find another one, but no such luck on very short notice. They decided at like 10 p.m. to get us the first flight home the next day at like 6 a.m., pay us overtime and the next day at home, then resume our normal work schedule. So I get home the next day at like 9 a.m., sent a text to my girlfriend and tell her I'm back. Getting to my door, I'm very confused hearing children screaming inside, since none of the other people who have my keys have little kids like that. I thought that I had squatters or something. Opening the door, I see my girlfriend's sister's kid running around after a shower, putting water everywhere. Plates of half-finished ravioli on my living room ground. Their suitcases opened in the entrance. I get inside and see the husband on my couch trying to hook up the PlayStation 2. Wow, ancient. PlayStation 2? Which he must have dug out of my storage room. I get into a verbal argument with him, trying to understand why the hell they're here. He said that my girlfriend told them they could get my flat for 2 weeks while I was gone. They wanted to visit the city for a bit and go to the beach. My girlfriend sent me a text while I was arguing telling me, "Oh, okay. By the way, my sister's family is at your flat." I admit I blew up on him and the sister who left my bedroom in the meantime. Damn, they were sleeping in OP's bedroom? I told them to leave immediately. They argued quite a bit. My girlfriend called her sis, then the sister put up the speaker so we could all hear. And she said that I was embarrassing her, that she told them they could use my place for a while. I threatened to call the police. I also asked my brothers to come over. They left while cursing me to their children, telling them that the holidays are over because the mean little sister's boyfriend cast them out. I have now all of my girlfriend's family on my back, and even some of my own family, saying I could have stayed with my girlfriend so the kids could have some vacation. Also, they read my doctor prescription papers, and obviously took some of my prescribed medications. They opened a box of benzodiazepine. Am I the butthole for making them leave? We pretty much stopped talking about anything else with my girlfriend. I feel like I'm being gaslit. I would never invite people over to her apartment like that, especially without telling her. It seems so disrespectful. Am I going insane? I gotta look up benzodiazepine. They are depressants that produce sedation and hypnosis, relieve anxiety and muscle spasms, and reduce seizures. OP, the classic manipulator playbook is to do something wrong, and then when someone gets upset about it, you make them feel bad and gaslight them into, how dare you get upset at me after I did something wrong? If it was so important that her sister's family got a vacation, then why didn't they stay at her place? In fact, it would have been way more logical for her family to stay at her place and for her to crash at your place for the 2 weeks. My guess is she was planning on renting out your place like an Airbnb effectively, and then cleaning up afterwards and never telling you about it. Some situations are worth fighting over and breaking up over, and I think this is one of them. OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your girlfriend 3 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for expecting tequila in the margaritas? I'm a 35-year-old man, and my wife, who's 33, got invited to a party at her coworker's house. I reluctantly went, because the only person I would know was my wife. This is a relatively new job for her, and she wanted to be able to meet and mingle with her coworkers outside of work. Her understanding of it all was that we didn't need to bring anything but ourselves. We show up, and it seems like a lively party. Pool with a bar area, music playing. They had a margarita machine and tons of food. My wife got to talking, so I excused myself to grab a drink. The margarita machine was calling my name, so I filled my cup and grabbed my wife a margarita. I went back to my wife. I started drinking, and I realized that there wasn't any tequila in it. That's when I noticed no alcohol being around. The host was tending to the machine, and I asked if there was any tequila. She looks at me confused and then says there's no tequila. I said, "Oh, I thought this was a party." She takes offense at that and says it is, it's just a dry one. I awkwardly left it at that. I poured out my drink and grabbed some water. The host asked if there was something wrong with it. I said that I wasn't interested in drinking straight sugar. Alright, okay. I walked back to my wife. I kept to myself and ate some food for a few hours before we left. It made it back to my wife that I was a butthole to the host. It caused a minor argument between us. Was I though? Dude, it's so ridiculous that OP is like, I'm not interested in drinking sugar. I want poison. Literal poison. Granted, alcohol is a very mild poison, but it will kill you if you drink enough. I'd love to know how exactly OP poured the drink out. Like, was it total eye contact, staring down the host as he tips over the glass, sneering as it falls into the drain? OP, come on, man. You're such a butthole. You're being rude. Most people would have either just taken the drink back to their seat and, nursed it or not drank it, or just said, "Oh, sorry, that's not to my taste. Thank you, though." To pour it out in front of the host is so rude. OP, you sound like a real tool bag. Maybe the reason why OP needs tequila so badly is to make his personality more bearable. OP, I'm giving you 1 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the hostess 0 out of 5 buttholes. And can I just point out, this seems like a pretty good party, even though there's no alcohol. There's free food, free drinks, music, and a pool. Oh, I thought this was a party. OP, you're starting to sound like an alcoholic, man. Am I the butthole for telling a friend exactly why my wife and I wouldn't go on a trip with her? My wife and I, who are both 32 and female, have a friend named Anna who's 33. Anna is so sweet, very funny, and can be very naive. While this isn't always a bad thing, she is at times ignorant of how the world works and of news. Anna has a family that owns a large vacation property in another country. She's long wanted to take a friend's trip there and is actually planning on doing so. Multiple people have been invited, and this past weekend when she and I got coffee, she invited my wife and I. The problem is, homosexuality is criminalized in this country. In case you missed it, I'm a woman married to a woman, and I would not feel safe traveling there. I would especially be worried about my wife. She has a very classic butch look, whereas I'm more feminine. I know that a lot of times these laws will pertain more towards gay men, but still, we wouldn't feel safe, and that's what matters. For what it's worth, my wife knew that we were probably going to be invited and said hell no to any idea of traveling there when I mentioned it. I didn't make a choice for the both of us by myself. I told Anna, no, I'm sorry, but my wife and I wouldn't be able to travel there. Well, she pressed why, and I said, because we're gay. That country criminalizes gay people. She just said, oh, and kind of awkwardly changed the topic. Later, though, I got a text. She said that she felt that I embarrassed her for not knowing, and while she didn't know, it's not like she's homophobic or anything, just that she wants to go on a trip there, and why did I have to be so blunt about it? I'm really frustrated, and also, I feel bad. I'm not sure why. I guess I could have made an excuse that airfare is pricey right now, or we had something else planned, but my wife is saying I didn't do anything wrong. I don't know, am I the butthole? Also, for clarity, this is in the Middle East. Down in the comments, No Glove really sums this up. Not the butthole. Let me get this straight. Your rich friend can walk around with the privilege of not thinking about the bad things in the world. And when things, not directly about her, are brought up in the context of your safety, she gets mad at you? You need to rethink this friendship. At 33, she's choosing to be this ignorant. Yeah, and then this other comment. Your friend will have to sit with her discomfort about this instead of having you mop up her feelings. Maybe a vacation at her family's vast estate will cheer her up. Am I the butthole for canceling my financial support for my son's wedding after his fiancée catfished him to test his loyalty? My son, who's 23, got engaged a few months ago. Recently, he admitted to me that he's been texting with a girl that he met on Tinder. That alone already shocked me. He's engaged, and that's obviously not acceptable behavior. But here's the twist. The girl on Tinder was actually his fiancée. She made a fake account to test whether he would stay loyal, and when he flirted back, she confronted him. Yes, what my son did was messed up, but creating a whole fake profile to trap your partner, that's manipulation. If you have to run sting operations to trust your fiancé, maybe you shouldn't be getting married. After learning this, I told my son that I wouldn't be paying for the wedding anymore. I don't want to support a marriage that already starts with lies and games from both sides. Some people in the family say that I'm overreacting and punishing both of them. What's your opinion? I kind of feel like this is a situation where everyone is a butthole. The wife is a butthole for setting up this elaborate lying sting operation. OP's son is a butthole for cheating. His fiancée is a butthole for setting up this elaborate lying sting operation. And OP is a butthole for the obvious double standards here. Because OP's getting all uppity about the fake Tinder profile, but is basically just, oh well, my son did try to cheat, but he didn't actually cheat, so It's definitely fine if OP doesn't want to spend money on the wedding, that's OP's prerogative. But this is just a mess, an absolute disaster. They should definitely call off the wedding. OP, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't support this wedding either. I think I'm giving everyone here 1 out of 5 buttholes. Maybe OP gets like 0.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for telling my daughter that her mom cheated on me when my daughter said that my new girlfriend looks like an OnlyFans chick? I'm a 49-year-old man, and I got divorced from my wife Emily, who's 49 because she cheated on me with multiple men. We have a son and a daughter. Our son Nick, who's 22, has always been closer to his mom, and our daughter Skylar, who's 19, has always been closer to me. Not knowing why we got divorced, the kids took their mom's side. I recently started dating Lisa, who's 54. She has a fun personality, she's smoking hot, and she dresses very fun. When I introduced Lisa to my kids, Nick took a liking to her, while Skylar looked annoyed. Days later, Skylar said that Lisa looks like an OnlyFans chick. If you know Skylar, you'd be shocked that she would use that as a way to insult another woman. I told her that her mom, Emily, was the one who cheated on me, and that I met Lisa after the divorce. Skylar got quiet and just said, oh. But the next day, my ex-wife Emily confronted me. I reminded her that I never promised to keep her cheating a secret. She said that I implied that it would be a secret based on the fact that I never said whether or not I would tell our kids. Am I the butthole? Before we get into it, OP posted an update. Even though my daughter is in her bedroom in my house, I messaged her because she said that she doesn't want to see anyone. She sent me a very, very long message that she had written beforehand. In the message, my daughter admitted that her mom and her maternal aunt said those kinds of things about Lisa. She said she's embarrassed that she repeated those awful things. She said that she thought that I was the one who cheated on her mom. She said she thought I cheated on her mom with Lisa. She said she's not mad at me. She said she's mad at her mom. She said Lisa seems like a wonderful woman. She said she wants to talk about this face to face, but not anytime soon. She said she'll tell me when she's up to talking about it face to face, and she thinks she can do it without crying. Oh, the poor ex-wife got exposed for cheating. Why wouldn't OP keep the cheating secret so that she could subtly blame OP to the kids and lead the kids to believe that OP was the one who cheated? OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your daughter 1 out of 5 buttholes for being a brat, and I'm giving the cheater 3.5 out of 5 buttholes.
That was rSlash Am I the Butthole? And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day.